to be your muse.
I've been having this pain for the last 10 years. I've tried many methods, stretching, going to the gym, taking a run, all sorts of different methods and whatever not they're telling me to do. And it didn't work. I went to some doctors, get some pain medication prescribed. Nothing really happened, to be honest, apart from the first day. Not sustainable in the slightest, honestly. Until a couple of weeks ago, or rather, sorry, a couple of months ago, I got introduced to this chiropractor for the first time. Now, I always thought that all they did was crack your bones when you get there, you know? Entire hour, just crack, crack, crack. I thought nothing would change after that. I crack myself every day, you know? Different kind of spots every single time. Arms, legs, I go find 5, 10 different ways to crack them. And I'll still get sore the next 10 hours. Within the next 10 hours, 12 hours. And I'll get all cranky again because my joints are stuck. But I decided to give it a try. Went in there, pretty small place, nothing much, nothing too huge. It's just a HDB flat that's kind of refurbished to look like a chiropractor's office. I went in, they took my details. Height, weight, any problems that I used to have. And sat me down, talked to me about the process, talked to me about the fee. Oh boy, that was quite a steep one for the first time. I always thought it was going to be 50 or not under, maybe at most 70. But when I calculated, after they gave me the final price, 80 to 100 per session, and it's still climbing. I just had a contract rework, brought it up to about 100 per session. Yikes. But anyway, I went in, he laid me on the chiropractor's bench, started going to work, and I expected to hear some crack, crack, crack and all that stuff. No. He slowly rolled me over and just applied a little bit of pressure on my neck. And I was wondering what the hell was going on. Did I get scammed? Is this a weak chiro? No idea. So I just held my tongue, I waited, watched him do his thing. He started explaining to me, "Oh yeah, your shoulder's really busted. Let's go and take a scan." I said, okay. I got up again, went inside. They asked me to sit there for 3 minutes, no moving, while they took my sort of, what do you call, blood pressure kind of thing, where they measure whether my heart rate was normal, my stress levels were normal, and all that jazz. Until now, I can't really put my finger on it, honestly. So if anyone can tell me exactly what they scan in that 3 minutes, you know, that little back device that goes all around your back, t. But they told me my shoulder, for a 24-year-old back then, was super screwed. It had a feel of somebody that was 30, 40. My back, the spine itself in particular, was decaying already at my age. And they said, "Wow, lucky you came in now." I know it's cliche, I know everybody says that, no matter what field you go into, they always say the same damn line. I'm glad you came in now. Any later and it would have been a problem. You hear so much. I didn't really take it into account. Nothing. I was just like, this is just probably another marketing trick. Gonna get me to subscribe to 1 year, 2 years with them. So I just, okay, yeah, sure. Lucky I came in now, I guess. He started patting my back and all that. I don't know what he was doing. He brought me to the chiro bench.
What bench again?
Chiropractor bench.
Oh, okay.
And then he started pressing down, slightly, just slightly. I was steeling myself for a huge crack because I felt so tense that day. I was so worried it would hurt as well. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I was fearful of the pain. I like to say I'm not to my friends, but nah, when you get down that bench for the first time, a random dude that is standing, he's a head taller than me. I'm 178. He's 1 head taller than me. Large guy. Has his hands on your back, ready to apply pressure. That moment in time, you're going to look up and think, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? And then, to my surprise, he slowly started pushing down. Very, very slow. Tiniest bit of strength. I was surprised. I honestly flinched in reaction. He patted me again on the shoulder. Relax, Cole. Relax. Okay. I breathed out. He continued. And he just held it there. I sat there thinking, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be feeling. Is the pain meant to go away? He just held it. 1 minute passed. 2. And he asked me to take a deep breath in. I obliged, but one thing I realized when you go to the chiro, when they say breathe, it doesn't necessarily mean breathe as how you normally breathe. They were the first one to teach me that you're supposed to breathe in from your stomach. I never knew that when I was growing up. I had a very odd form of breathing. When I came into certain trainings as well, I came to realize that my breathing technique was just odd. So you asked me to take a deep breath in. Stomach in. Chest. And just hold it there for a couple of seconds. Breathe out all the way out. Now here I was off my guard now. Because it felt too relaxing. Taking a proper breath in.
But wouldn't you go to a chiropractor to feel relaxed?
You normally would, but being my first time there, I had no idea what to expect. All I remember seeing from videos from my friends is huge cracking noises that sounded so unhealthy. I know it's kind of, odd saying that because they literally specialize in that field. But I was tense. Really, really tense. I was worried, I was nervous. I had no idea who he was. I don't like physical contact that much, so that was also getting on my edge a bit, getting me on my nerves a bit. And then he pressed down. Now this was not like the first press I was talking about. This one was sudden, snapped, and next thing I knew, I heard the loudest crack I've ever heard in my life within my back. It almost felt painful, honestly, but it was like, okay, there you go, and I was just stunned. I breathed out and I stayed pretty much a while without breathing back in. I was caught off guard. But, surprisingly, my back felt a lot better with that one crack. But, as I said earlier, I'm still very skeptical. I know you can crack your back, and I know they can crack it better for you. But how long is that gonna last? So, he turned me on my side. Asked me to cross my arms, get my leg over my other leg and all that. I was like, okay, I'm ready for another crack, right? Because the first crack came through. The floodgates have been opened. I thought that it was going to be a flurry of back cracking from that point onwards for the next half an hour. No. Switched up the tempo there. Started easing my shoulder into a sort of cradle position. And then just held his palm against the tip of my spine, somewhere on there, and slowly started rocking his palm in and out of my flesh. Oh, my back rather. Caught off guard again. I didn't know what to expect. I turned around and looked at him, and he just looked at me sort of knowingly, actually. Yeah, no, we're just relaxing your back, setting it sort of back into place. Your muscles are really unhappy right now. I was like, okay. Then he turned me to the other side. Did the same. Okay. No more cracking? I was wondering. Finally faced me, lay me down face up. And then... I guess this is where he's gonna crack my chest or something. I have no idea at this point. Nope. Put his hands, cupped it under my neck. Pushed it in a little bit with a bit of pressure. Just the tiniest bit of pressure. And just held it there. Looked at me, I looked at him. I didn't know where to look. By the way, when you go into a chiro, they don't tell you where to look. For some of you like me, you may find that looking directly at your chiropractor is kind of awkward, when he's kind of hugging your neck. But at the same time, your eyes can't really go anywhere else. There's nothing in the ceiling to look at. The windows are kind of out of your vision. The only thing you see is the chiro's chin, right in front of your face.
Would it make you feel better if he did ask you to look elsewhere?
maybe if you give me a guide on where to look. Because for me, I have a bit of a social anxiety when I can't tell if I'm supposed to look at a person in the eye, or if, let's say, the most common one, when you're standing in MRT, if it's packed, crowded, and you're stuck facing against another person, facing towards another person, but you're right smack in front of each other. Where do you look? Some people look upwards, left, right. It's instinctual for some people. But for me, I tend to panic. I start to think, if I look up, will the person in front of me think that I'm purposely avoiding him? Because I don't want to look at him? Random thoughts in my mind, doesn't make sense. Honestly, does not make sense.
I'm trying to figure that one out.
Yeah, no. Takes me a while to get used to this. I started to think, should I look down? Then I started wondering if the person was think I'm looking at somewhere that I'm not supposed to be. And then I started looking back up again. So this is a cycle in my head that happened for the longest of times.
So it's a feeling of awkwardness?
Yeah, pure awkwardness. Don't know where to look. If I do pick on a place, I wonder what the other person would think.
Do you think you're alone? Amongst everyone else?
No.
I feel that way.
I don't think this. I'm not alone here. I'm pretty sure that many of you out there, they are like doing the same, feeling the same thing, or maybe even worse.
So does this bug you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Even though you know that you're not alone, it still bugs you?
It bugs me because, well, this comes into whether what you think is normal for people. It bugs me, as I'm sure it bugs a few people, quite a few people out there, that why are people able to take something as simple as public transport without feeling the stress that I have to feel?
What stress do you feel when you're in public transport?
Simply of where to look. Just simply of where to look. It really bugs you out sometimes.
So when you have a conversation with someone, do you look at that someone right in the eye, or you just look away?
Okay, so for this, over the years, I've learned to follow what the other person's doing. So if, for instance, if you were to look at me straight in the eye and talk to me, I'll return that. But if you were to look away, I'll do the same. It's more of, back then, before I learned all this, I was looking away most of the time, and I was told I was, not paying attention. I was scolded even for being disrespectful, to my parents, my teachers, my peers. Look at me when I'm talking to you, with that so angry face when I turn back. So I had to learn. Stare the person straight in the eye. And even to this day, let me let you in a little secret here. I don't know where you're supposed to look when you look in the eyes. Because when I look straight at you, at a person, if I stare at one eye, I feel that the person may feel that I'm just looking at one eye, that it's obvious. But otherwise, I just try to look at the nose. Anyway, I digress. Back to the Cairo. We went on like that in the position, the neck cupping position for about 4 minutes actually. Is that okay? You're done. Let me put you on a triangular block they have. There's some sort of neck adjustment block. They put they put you over it rather, and they put the triangular block underneath your neck, directly in the center. And you're stuck in this upwards looking position for however long they decide to give you. So I lay there, 4 minutes, timer beeped. The fella came over to remove the thing and say, okay, you're all good. See you next week. I was like, huh? That's it? I had one crack and I'm out? I thought you guys did a lot of this cracking stuff. He looked at me amused I can say, as though I had no idea what it was. I mean, I did have no idea what it was. He explained to me, no, we just adjust your back. There's no necessarily cracking. But in your case, because you're coming for a long-term session, twice a week, we're gonna adjust your back slowly back into position. We're not gonna just give you a one-time crack and send you off. I mean, it helps. For those of you out there that are doing the one-time cracks, it does help. Just that, for my particular case, after seeing my x-rays, they realized that they needed to do long-term care instead of a one-time crack. Why? The bottom half of my back is straight. Perfectly fine. A little bit crooked here and there, but normal ranges. Now, the upper half of my back. Now that's where it gets tricky. Apparently, you can liken it from the side view to a question mark. So the top is curved, and it ends back inwards, like a C. And the bottom goes straight out. And that's not supposed to happen, I assure you that. That is not supposed to be the case. You could say it's because of my gaming, or I don't know. Honestly, I just game a lot, so that's probably where it came from. Well, anyway, that was my first time going to the chiro, getting my back adjusted, and honestly, it was great. I'll tell you more about it next time. Peace.